Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, here we go. We are going to be talking about the last week in April, and I'm sure I have your attention because the first 3 weeks were monumental with many changes. So what I'm talking about, let me refresh your memory, is where the moon is in the sky. The moon represents the public, the masses, the people, and that's what we're focusing in on, how all the other planets are relative to this ever-changing, transiting moon as it changes a nakshatra every day and changes signs every 2.5 days. And this gives us relevance of what we're looking at in the world, along with where all the other planets are situated, all of these transits. This is huge, and the month of April is dramatic. So what we're looking at right now is the week of April 22nd through the 30th. Now, as I'm looking at where all these planets are for the masses, this is mundane astrology, how it affects the world. If you want to know how this affects you personally, you need to get my galactic planner. Seriously, I wrote all of the translations for this planner. And what you do is you put in your birth chart and it figures out all the transits for you personally. Then all the information as to what they mean are going to be in your calendar, in your phone or computer. You don't want to miss this guidance for yourself personally. But as I'm talking about this is globally, and this is important as well. So go to galacticplanner.com, get your own personal predictions. Now I'm going to give you the world predictions. So looking at this, I'm looking at April 22nd. This is a Tuesday, and remember, I am talking about Central Time Zone, Central Daylight Time. I'm in Dallas, Texas. And also, tell me where you are in the notes down below. I check those out. I want to know where everybody's coming from around the world right now. So April 22nd, the moon is still in Capricorn most of the day. Later on in the evening, it will shift into Aquarius, but later. So this is, for the most part, probably till around 6 p.m., 5 or 6 p.m. It's in Capricorn, and it is in the nakshatra the entire day, Dhanishta. Dhanishta is a very interesting nakshatra. It deals with timing, and it means, you know, be aware if you're prompted to go to the coffee shop at a particular time, do it. Because this is your sixth sense of connecting with your timing mechanism, of being at the right place at the right time. Now, it also deals with, well, it's said to be the richest one. So it deals with wealth and money. And so a lot is going on, as we well know, with the economy globally in the world. There are some major shifts. And this depicts it by the moon being in the sign of Capricorn, which loves to deal with money and business, government affairs. And this is a nakshatra that is all powerful. It's ruled by Mars. And Mars is actually still opposing the moon the whole time that the moon is in Capricorn. Now, these planets in Pisces are in the 3rd house, so it is a day to be creative, and it is a day maybe that you might be prompted to start traveling, going some short trips, because you know, so much has gone haywire with traveling. This is kind of lessening up a little bit with all the confusion that's been going on. Jupiter is in the 5th house from the moon. This is a good day to be creative, and anything to do with your children, be aware. It's time to pay attention and have fun with them, actually. That's what this can indicate. The sun is actually in the 4th house from the moon, which means, you know, you might be looking into something with real estate and property. The sun is exalted now in Aries. Now I want to move forward to April 23rd. In April 23rd, we have the moon in Aquarius the whole day. And it's going to be in the nakshatra Shatabhishak. That nakshatra deals so much with healing. And so people are going to be talking probably about how to eat properly, things that deal with health and healing. But most of all, Shatabhishak can deal with mental disease and hard to cure diseases. So you're going to find more interest out there in curing diseases. And that's important. Now, another thing that this nakshatra deals with is the sky watcher, which can deal, of course, with astrology. So people will express more interest in the heavens, the stars, the sky, and possibly even, I know I keep talking about the alien thing. This is coming out. I don't know that it's today, but it's coming out slowly in drips and drabs. So be conscious of that. Now, all these planets in Pisces, the Venus, Rahu, Saturn, Neptune, Mercury, are all in the second house from the moon. So there are some kind of advances and changes in the financial markets, and changes in the economy. Even though everything's turned upside down, things are just starting to clear out. Now, Jupiter is in the 4th house from the moon today. So it'd be a great day to go searching for real estate, for property, if that's what is heavy on your mind, to move. This is a good day for that. Mars sits in the 6th house from the moon, which can mean this is a time that you can work on your health, get healthier, do good things for yourself health-wise, especially with the foods you eat. 2nd house and 6th house deal with that. So changing your diet could be a good thing to think about on this particular day. So now I'm looking at April 24th. This is a Thursday. And I am Central Daylight Time. So the moon sits still in Aquarius all day. Pretty much in the late evening, it's going to shift into Pisces. But we've got it in Aquarius, and it's in the nakshatra all day of Purva Bhadrapada. Now, that particular nakshatra is very interesting, as it can be someone who's a visionary, seeing clearly the future. Aquarius is all about that. Aquarius is about humanity too, healing things representing humanity. And boy, do we need to clean up with that right now. So with all the havoc and the wars and the problems that have been going on in this world, it needs to stop, but it seems to keep getting worse. Anyway, with this, money situations are shifting and changing. The economy is changing with the planets in Pisces in the 2nd house from the moon. And once again, this is even a better day to go shopping for real estate. And it's a Thursday, which is ruled by Jupiter. So if you need to move and need a new house, this is the day to go for it. And one more thing, it's a good day to look at your health and consider changing your diet to get healthier. Now I'm looking at April 25th. This is a Friday. And the moon has moved into Pisces. It actually did yesterday in the evening. But the moon is throughout the day going to be in smack dab in the center of Pisces, and it has rolled over all those planets, Rahu, Saturn, Venus, and Neptune. And it is very close to Mercury around 12 noon Central Daylight Time. And this deals with overthinking things. Moon, Mercury, they both rule the mind. But being in Pisces, you're not very clear-headed, because Pisces doesn't know how to form boundaries. You got to realize you got to form boundaries. And once you make up your mind, stick with it. Quit changing your mind today. You're overthinking things, all right? That's what I'm getting at. and the moon, which has crossed over Neptune. You're not thinking very clearly. It's probably a great day to go to the movies, that kind of interaction, things like that. It is a day that your imagination will run wild. Use it for creative purposes. And I'm also looking at, looking at this, Venus is really conjunct Saturn yesterday and today. So I find that when Venus is conjunct Saturn, it has a lot to do with a sense of loneliness, not feeling connected to other people. So please be aware of that. This is only a fleeting thing. It doesn't need to exist for long, but you do feel lonely. And that means even when you're with people, because people, you just simply feel like they're not listening. And this is a fact. This is a temporary influence, but it does feel lonely when people don't hear you. And that goes for, today, and actually, yes, today and tomorrow as well. All right. And yesterday. All right. So those 3 days. Let's move forward. Now I'm looking at April 26th. And on the 26th, we still have the moon in Pisces, but now it is in the nakshatra Revati. And yes, I forgot that yesterday it was in the nakshatra Uttara Bhadrapada. So on the 25th, Uttara Bhadrapada is the nakshatra of deep thinking. But your mind will be in this zone of, well, it can be very creative, but still fantasizing about things, not being realistic. Now, Saturday, April 26th, when the moon is in Revati, Revati deals with travels. It's ruled by the god Pushan, god of travels. And actually it protects you while traveling. So even though the moon is with all these other planets, it's not a bad day to travel at all. And actually Friday was good as well, Friday and Saturday. So April 25th and 26th, these are good days for traveling. Why? Well, Saturday's the best because the moon is in Revati, which is the god that gives protection when traveling. But Jupiter sits in the third house from the moon. Third house is travels. Jupiter gives protection. So finally things are easing up and we can start going places where there's not so much confusion. Yes, even though we're not out of the water yet, I gotta say that. So Mars sits in the fifth house, and this can deal with our creativity and our mind, our thinking mind. So it is a good day to really think profoundly, deeply, and get work done. I like this day. Things are starting to shift. The energy is changing. But there's one thing that I failed to mention. And yes, this is a good day for travel, but don't use this day to begin new projects. Why? Because it's a very dark moon. It's right before the new moon. So this dark moon is a day to finish up old projects. So don't use it for new beginnings, use it for endings, and you will be very productive and successful with that. So let's look at Sunday, April 27th. This is the new moon. And the moon and the sun come together in the sign of Aries. Yes, it's Aries. You're thinking it's Taurus, but it's not. This is sidereal. So looking at this, the sun is exalted in Aries, and the moon being in Aries is in the nakshatra Ashwini, which deals with travels and quick travels. Even though, I said don't begin new projects, it is a good day for traveling the past 3 days. You can get places that you want to go without confusion. Now, the moon being in Ashwini. Ashwini is fast and furious, and Ashwini can deal with healing as well. But I do like that the sun and the moon are finally coming together, and the sun being in the nakshatra Bharani. This new moon will occur in Bharani today, and this means a breakthrough in consciousness, a breakthrough in awareness, and prompting onto new beginnings. Now Jupiter is in the second house from this new moon, which can actually deal with gains financially, the economy. Things are starting to kick in and pull together. But, and this is a big but, Mars and Pluto are opposed to each other today. And actually, I think they opposed each other. You know, you got to give these, I'm talking about the exact oppositions, but they were exactly opposite. Let me backtrack here. Yesterday on the 26th, but you really need to give aspects such as this a 3-degree orb. So even though I'm telling you they're exact on the 26th, they're still opposed. Mars at 9 degrees and 9 degrees of Cancer, and Pluto at 9 degrees of Capricorn on the 27th. So from the 26th and probably the 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, we've got this aspect of Mars opposed Pluto, which is very dangerous. I know I said it's okay to travel, and that would go personally, but in the world there is havoc going on, and there is probably issues around outbreaks of war and violence. You know, pretty much I'm trying to tell you guys to stay home in April. I'm trying to give you little windows of things, but overall it is a month that deals with anger, rage, frustration, fire, outbreaks, earthquakes, war, violence. So, like I said, I'm going to be glad when this month is over, because it is not an easy month. Now let's move on to April 28th. April 28th, we still have the moon in Aries. It has moved past the sun with the new moon. So now we have a moon that's going to be waxing, increasing in light, not waning. So this will be in effect for the next few weeks. And of course, I mentioned this before. There's so much to talk about in this month. Really, go back and listen to my monthly predictions for April. And don't forget, seriously, I need to tell you to listen to my my predictions that I put out absolutely free, so you guys can be prepared. Sign up for my newsletter, because I'm going to be telling you a few of the things that I can't put in every single one of these days. And that is that we're under the effects of the Kala Sarpa Yoga through to the summer. Or the winter if you're in Australia. Forgive me for saying that. I always forget a lot of my clients and students live down under. But let me just say, we're in the Kala Sarpa Yoga, and that means a fated events and time of a certain destiny where things must happen to transform and change this world. It is all in occurrence. It's all happening now. And the moon even comes within the nodal axes now as it comes into Pisces. This is the intense time of the Kala Sarpa Yoga. And looking at this, all the planets in Pisces are in the 12th house, which represents things behind the scenes that we cannot see occurring at this time. It is important to know Mars being in Cancer in the 4th house from the moon can represent upsets in your property, in your home, where you're living. Be cautious, be aware. Now let's move up to the next day, The 28th, the moon is, I forgot to tell you, the nakshatra in Kritika. Kritika is sharp and cutting and gets to the point. It doesn't take any nonsense. So people will be enraged and focused on forging forward during this time. But as I wanted to go to the next day, which is April 29th, and this is where the moon is going to come together with Jupiter. I like Jupiter-Moon conjunctions. The moon being the public and the moon being people. This is so important that it is being aspected by Jupiter and by the fact that they're both in Taurus. The moon is now in its favorite nakshatra, Rohini, and it's exalted. So it's positive energy of Jupiter. This is a good day to get some things done. And all those Pisces planets sit in the 11th house of great gains in friendship and coming together with meetings. This is a day that is probably one of the better days of this month. I'm going to say that the best day of this month is going to be April 29th and April 30th to get things done, because we have the moon exalted being influenced by Jupiter. All these planets in Pisces go to the 11th house of gains and friendship and meetings coming together. Mars is in the 3rd from this, which is actually gives us more ambition and momentum to get things done. This is a good time to be productive. You will be prosperous. So that's April 29th and moving forward also to April 30th. Might be, both days are exceptional because the moon stays in Taurus. On April 30th, the moon will exactly conjunct Jupiter. This is so positive. Jupiter is expansion, prosperity, good things in life. This is positive. Mars is in the 3rd, which gives ambition, drive, and willpower. And the planets in Pisces, Rahu, Saturn, Venus, Neptune, Mercury are all in the 11th house from the moon, and Jupiter, which means coming together with good meetings, prosperity, and wealth. So get things done. The moon is in the nakshatra today, the last day of April, in Mrigashira, which is the nakshatra of searching and finding things. With Jupiter, things will happen, things will be found. Good things are manifesting. So move forward. The 29th and 30th, probably the most auspicious days to get things done. But let me just say this. I'm kind of glad this month is over. Now, I know we're not out of the water yet. May's not easy either, but this month really brought things to the surface. I think we know what we're dealing with now. And we've got a lot of healing to go. All right, so with that, I think I'll close. Remember, if you want to learn more about me, if you want to study with me, become my student, go to my university website, which is universityofvedicastrology.com, and you can study with me and learn Vedic astrology. And remember my galactic planner. You're going to get all of this relative to your own personal chart. Go to galacticplanner.com and join my Patreon. You don't have to know astrology for my Patreon group. You just have to have the will to want to learn and grow spiritually. That's all I say for Patreon. So go to galacticcenter.org. You'll find all of these opportunities available there. Thank you.